Ransack is the name of several fictional characters from the Transformers series. Ransack was first created in 1985 as one of the Insecticons. Since then the name was used for a variety of other Transformers characters. Transformers Generation 1. Ransack is a Decepticon warrior and a member of the Insecticons who turns into a locust. Dreamwave Productions. In Dreamwave's The War Within series, Venom, Chop Shop and Ransack were members of Rat-Bat's Ultracons faction. In the third series, The Age of Wrath, they accompanied Rat-Bat to the peace talks with Shockwave's Decepticons and Ultra Magnus's Autobots. When the conference was attacked by Starscream's Predacons, the deluxe Insecticons helped fight them off. After Megatron's reappearance, the deluxe Insecticons were reabsorbed into the Decepticons. The deluxe Insecticons later appeared in the Dreamwave Comics Micromasters series as the main antagonists. 3H Enterprises. Generation 1 Ransack appeared among the many prisoners of Unicron who escaped with the help of Optimus Primal in Transformers Universe No. 2. IDW Publishing. Ransack made a brief appearance in the Spotlight issue on Six-Shot. As one of the Decepticons on monitor duty as Six-Shot enters the control room in the Decepticon base, RC, Bludgeon, Longtooth, Ransack, Repugnus and Skyjack were among those incarcerated in an Autobot penitentiary on Garrus 9 in Spotlight. RC. Books. Ransack appeared in the 1985 novel called Transformers Battle Drive. Toys. Generation 1 Deluxe Insecticon Ransack. During the original toy line, Ransack was one of 4 deluxe Insecticons featured in the second year in the line. The deluxe Insecticons were built by Bandai and imported to United States via Hasbro. Due to an arrangement with Takara, they never appeared on TV in anything more than animated commercials. This was so the television series could be shown in Japan, where Bandai still owned the images of the characters. In the 1980s, Transformers were such a success that Hasbro wanted to get as much product out on the shelves with the Transformers name on it as possible. Since they were running out of old Takara molds to use, they obtained licenses to use the molds of other companies' robot toys in the Transformers line. Shockwave, Jetfire, Omega Supreme, Roadbuster, Whirl, Chop Shop, Venom, Barrage and Ransack were among those molds. With the licenses to those toys now expired, Hasbro and Takara no longer have legal rights to those figures and cannot reissue them. The same toy was imported in the Converters toy line in the 1980s as the Insectors Morphus. Transformers Generation 2. In the Generation 2 relaunch, continuation of the original Transformers series, there was a different Decepticon character of the name Ransack. This Ransack transformed into an airplane and was part of the Rotor Force. His tech spec indicates that he is one of the Decepticons' best at aerial reconnaissance, with stealth capabilities as well. He is also a fierce fighter if he lands in enemy territory. Some versions of Ransack came with a black blade, others with an orange one. Marvel Comics. Ransack appeared in the Marvel Generation 2 comics. Bludgeon, current leader of the Decepticons, planned to create an army of Decepticons, so he constructed the bodies of the Rotor Force and laser rods. When Megatron killed Bludgeon and took back leadership of the Decepticons, one of his first actions was to steal the Matrix from Optimus Prime. The Matrix was then used to bring the new Decepticons to life. Ransack first appeared in Issue 6 as one of the lifeless Decepticon bodies. In Issue 7, Rotor Force and the laser rods were sent to steal Reanimum, a potent substance Megatron intended to use in his quest for power. For the planet Tychos, They would appear again in the Autobot-Decepticon alliance, battling against first the forces of G-Axis, and then the Swarm. Fun Publications Ransack was among the troops under the command of Clench on Earth. Toys Generation 2 Rotor Force Ransack. In Europe the Rotor Force were called Rotorbos and Ransack was called Blitz. In Europe his motto was, "There is nowhere they can hide, that I won't find them." Transformers Armada. Ransack in Transformers Armada is leader of the Minicon Adventure Team. He features a working winch with a hook on a string. Ransack was packaged with Dune Runner and Iceberg. Dreamwave Productions Ransack first appeared in issue 9 of the Transformers Armada comic by Dreamwave Productions. In Transformers Armada number 9 to 11 by Dreamwave Productions, the Adventure Team were among the Minicons survived crashing on Earth's moon. Under the leadership of Dual, they built a fortress there and defended it from an attack by Megatron, Starscream, Thrust and Cyclonus. Once Megatron overpowered the base, the Minicons escaped to Earth. Ransack appeared among the Minicons in issue number 18 of the Transformers Armada comic book, who aided Overrun using the Minicon Matrix in the defeat of Unicron, the team leader of the Adventure Team. His love of challenges means he's first in line to volunteer for dangerous missions, much to Dune Runner and Iceberg's dismay. Unable to understand this, Ransack tries to include them in his missions as often as possible, which usually leads to even greater friction. He is also a communications expert. Toys Armada Minicon Ransack. Armada Ransack was recolored as Armada Cliffjumper, Japanese exclusive Talkin' Cybertron payload. This toy was repackaged in a 6-pack of Minicons for Transformers Energon, but the toy was unchanged. Transformers Universe. Ransack is the name of a Decepticon who was sold with the Autobot smokescreen in their Battle in a Box versus set. This Ransack, a purple recolor of Armada Hoist, transforms into a backhoe and is partnered with the Minicon Refute. The official Hasbro website listed Ransack under the name Bone Crusher. It is unknown why the name changed. The original Insecticon Ransack made a brief cameo as one of the captives of Unicron in the Transformers Universe comic book. How this relates to the Universe Ransack toy is unknown. Since the Transformers Universe comic series was cut short after 3 issues, it was never revealed if the characters were connected. Toys Universe Deluxe Ransack with Refute, a recolor of Armada Hoist. This toy was later remolded into Cybertron Longrack, then into Timeline's Dinobot. Transformers Cybertron. Ransack is a character from the Transformers Cybertron toy line and television series. Cyberkey Power fires a powered shot from his double-barreled weapon. His blasters barrels flip out in vehicle mode, serving as speed boosters. The Ransack toy came with a Cyberkey with the code SC92 on it. When typed in on the official Transformers website, this code reveals that he has a secret crush on Speed Planet leader Override and has unsuccessfully tried to ask her out many times. Animated series Ransack is a Transformer native to the planet Velocitron, the smaller and most intelligent member of the Partners in Crime, with his buddy Crumplezone. Ransack makes up for his small size in nimbleness, agility, fairly quick wits, and the fact that he has a bigger partner. Ransack and Crumplezone were recruited by Megatron when he first arrived on Velocitron, immediately sent to uncover the location of the planet Cyberplanet Key. Eventually uncovering that it was the planet Cup, the two entered the race, allying with Dirtboss to win. Despite cheating the way through to the last race, the two were beaten by Hotshot and Override, forcing Megatron to personally intervene. Ransack and Crumple Zone followed Megatron to the planets Earth and Animatros. In episode number 31, United, Scourge, Mudflap, Crumple Zone, Ransack and Thundercracker followed Megatron on the space bridge to Cybertron. They were joined by Thunderblast, who claimed she'd rather work for Megatron than Starscream. They followed Megatron to Gigantion in his quest for the Cyber Planet keys. However, this nearly proved their undoing when Starscream betrayed Megatron and sealed him, Ransack, Thundercracker, and Mudflap in a steel globe. Eventually freed by Scourge, Ransack would be involved in many of the battles against both the Autobots and Starscream's army of ancient Decepticons. When Galvatron needed the Decepticons to distract the Autobots while he used the power of the Cyber Planet keys to control the Grand Black Hole, he used the power of the keys to turn Dark Crumple Zone, Ransack, Thunderblast, and Thundercracker into giants, allowing them to hold off the army of Autobots long enough for Galvatron to escape. After the fight, the Decepticons returned to normal size. After realizing that Galvatron had no intentions of helping his minions escape the black hole disaster in the first place, Ransack, Dark Crumple Zone and the remaining Decepticons abandoned their allegiance to Galvatron and considered themselves free. When the Autobots attempted to use a gigantic rocket to move the Animatros back into its orbit, Galvatron attacked, damaging the rocket. The jungle planet threatened to crash into Cybertron. Surprisingly, Ransack, Crumple Zone, Thundercracker, and Thunderblast helped to move the booster back into place. In the finale of Cybertron, Ransack was part of the Expedia 500 race to determine who would be the leader of Velocitron alongside Crumple Zone, Hotshot, Dirt Boss, Breakdown, and Clock after Override left to join the Space Bridge project. Hotshot won, angered by his inability to fit in anywhere. Ransack, Crumple Zone, Thunderblast, and a reluctant Thundercracker formed a new Decepticon army and left to find a new leader. Predictably, the hapless group didn't get far. The credits montage that closed the series showed they had crashed on what appeared to be Mars. Ransack is portrayed with a Brooklyn-sounding accent. Comics Farm Publications. Ransack appears in the BotCon 2015 exclusive comic story Cybertron's Most Wanted as a member of the Axiom Nexus security forces. In this story, he has the colors of his Galaxy Force Gasket Police type toy. Toys Cybertron Scout Ransack. Like most toys sold in the Galaxy Force toy line by Takara, then later in the Cybertron toy line by Hasbro, there are small paint differences between the two versions of the toy. The Hasbro version has a code number on the back of his Cyberkey, while the Takara version has no number on his Force chip. Ransack was repainted as BotCon 2006 Rat Trap. Ransack is the Beast Wars character Rat Trap before he came to Earth and was reformatted as a rat. Galaxy Force Scout Gasket Police type. In Japan, the toy of Gasket was repainted white and sold as Gasket Police type. Cybertron Scout Ransack GTS. Hasbro made Ransack a toy line specific upgrade called Ransack GTS, much like how they released Override GTS and Breakdown GTS. The Ransack GTS toy came with a Cyberkey with the code S2W5 on it. When typed in on the official Transformers website, this code reveals that, rather bizarrely, he is a keen stand-up comedian trying to get on Velocitron Idol, looking at this as a way to stop his life of war. He seems determined not to let the fact that he isn't any good put him off. In 2006, a special edition of Ransack GTS was available in Walmart stores, which contained a DVD with the episode Cybertron as a promotional item. Despite the fact that he wasn't in that episode as Ransack GTS, this toy was later repackaged as part of a 3-pack of Cybertron Scouts for the Universe line. Transformers: Revenge of the Fallen. Ransack is a biplane. He is described as an old Decepticon who was one of the first to gain the ability to fly. Books in the novelization of Revenge of the Fallen, Ransack is one of the ancient Seekers, a Decepticon that worked with Jetfire. When he discovers that Jetfire is awake, he goes to take him out, only for the old bot to promptly step on Ransack, destroying him with ease. It should be noted that this scene was not present in the final film. Toys Revenge of the Fallen's Captain Ransack. A new mold. He was repainted into Dive Bomb. Transformers Universe. Part of a Transformers Universe Armada Series 10-pack. Transformers Animated. The Ransack in the animated line is a homage to Cybertron Ransack, although he is depicted as an Autobot. His tech spec appeared on the lithograph sold at BotCon 2011. Transformers Prime. Ransack hails from the planet Velocitron. Books appears in Transformers Exiles, where he pledges allegiance to Megatron.